So, I did pre-release for Cons of Tarkir. I totally went Jeskai. I went Jeskai all the freaking way. Because red, white, and blue. You know, it's my screw it, man, my three favorite colors. Thank you. Thank you. So, you know, I went Jeskai, and my first thought was, when I was putting the deck together from my card pool, was I went through the blue, then I grabbed up all the flyers and draw card effects I could get my grubby little paws on. So it's just like, oh look, there's, you know, Thousand Winds, Mistfire Weaver, 2 Jeskai Wind Scouts, 2 Weave Fates for card draw, and then, you know, any other playable blue I had was basically like a Singing Bell Strike is a nice little control / removal-ish card. Dragon's Eye Savants was a late addition to the deck during the construction process. I figured worst case scenario it's a 2/2 for 3. You know, the deck is really light on early play cards, so having something that's a potential 2-drop, that's a 0/6 that can block early, not necessarily bad. Not necessarily bad. Red. Mono red only had was like 3 cards. A Valley Dasher, which is reasonably solid, and like any haste creature that must attack each turn if able, you can get 1 block out of it by casting it during your second main phase. Because then it can't attack. You can't declare it as an attacker. Your attack step is gone. It's just gone. Swift Kick is nice as a semi-conditional removal card. Arrow Storm is nice. It's, you know, 4 damage target creature or player, or 5 if you've already attacked. The only issue with it is it's a sorcery. Winter Flame is a red and blue card. It's nice. Choose one or both. Tap target creature or 3 damage target creature. Or you can hit 2 different target creatures. That's pretty saucy. That's pretty saucy. As a side note, before I forget, damn it, where'd I put it? Let me put this down for a second here. There it is. At first, I also had a barrage of boulders in here. 2 in a red deals 1 damage to each creature you don't control. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, creatures can't block this turn. At first, I had that in the deck, but after a couple of rounds, it just wasn't performing, and I pulled it out and replaced it with End Hostilities. 3 double white, destroy all creatures and all permanents attached to creatures, which also means it destroys equipment that's currently attached. That's pretty saucy. I was kind of hesitant about running that at first because it's a board wipe, and this deck is already running a little bit thin on creatures. Though I think the creature quality overall is there. But I also got a Suspension Field, which is nice. Enchantment, when it comes into battlefield, may exile target creature with toughness 3 or greater until Suspension Field leaves the battlefield. That's not bad at all. Take Up Arms is a little expensive at 5 mana, but it's an instant and it gives you 3/1/1s. That's nice. I like it. I wouldn't run more than 2 in a draft deck, or a sealed for that matter. I only got 1 here, but yeah. Alabaster Kyrat is actually really solid. 2/3 Flying Vigilance for 4 is really solid. I like it. Firehoof Cavalry is mostly in there because the deck, once again, really weak early game. So I figured it's a potential chump blocker, or maybe a little bit of late game offense. It's a 1/1 for 1, and you pump 3 in a red to give it +2/+0 and trample till end of turn. Like, okay, whatevs. I also had a Ride Down, destroy target blocking creature. Creatures that were blocked by that creature gain trample till end of turn. That thing's really, really nice. Ride Down is a really good removal card. I like it. It's one of the best combat tricks in the set, in my opinion. Red, white, and blue, triple color. I had 2 Efreet Weapon Masters. It's a 4/3 First Striker for 3 and red, white, and blue, and it has morph, and it only costs 2 in red, white, and blue to turn it face up. When it hits the battlefield or when it is turned face up, target creature other than itself gets +3/+0 till end of turn. That you control, of course. Target creature that you control other than itself. There we go. How's about that? English. So yeah, this guy's not bad. I mean, especially 4 power. Narset was my pre-release promo. She's insane. For 3 red, a red, a white, and a blue. She's a 3/2 first strike hexproof, which makes her pretty difficult to deal with. And when you attack with her, you exile the top 4 cards of your library, and until end of turn, any of those that aren't creatures, you may cast without paying their mana costs. That's pretty saucy. I also had a pair of Jeskai banners, as well as the Mythic Monastery. It comes into play tapped, and you can tap it for one of any of the 3 colors of the Jeskai. The Jeskai banner is 3 colorless artifact, taps for 1 mana of any of the 3 Jeskai colors, or you can pay 1 mana of each of the Jeskai colors, tap and sack it, and draw a card. So that's pretty nice. Plus I had a Swiftwater Cliffs and a Windscarred Crag. They both come into play tapped. When they hit the board, you gain a life, and the Cliffs taps for brain fart. I can speak English. The Cliffs taps for blue or red, and the Crag taps for red or white. So that's pretty saucy right there. Pretty saucy. I ran it with 5 islands, 5 plains, and 3 mountains. I didn't have a lot of red cards, plus I had, all of 3 of my non-basic lands tapped for red mana. Plus I had the 2 banner artifacts, so I figured I could get away with undercutting red a little bit, since, it wasn't super... And I ended up with a really good mana balance on that, I think. So, sitting down here. So, yeah, the first couple, like I said, after the first couple of rounds, I replaced the Barrage of Boulders with the board wipe. Let me bust out the rest of my card pool here. What we got here? Tokens, basic lands, stuff. Just in case I needed, I actually had put together the idea of like a secondary deck. Like, Kin Tree Invocation, and 3 Kin Tree Wardens, and a Savage Punch, and a Highland Game. And the neighbors across the hall are freaking loud. Death Frenzy, a nice piece of removal, an incremental growth, Herald Dread. I mean, just a bunch of actually surprisingly, not necessarily great stuff, but surprisingly solid stuff, 2 Dragon Thrones of Tarkir. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I'm not even going to ask how the hell I ended up with 2 of those, They were in the booster packs. Ooh, bit of revelations. 2 of them, no less. That was really nice to have. If I ever ended up having to use this side deck, which I didn't. This guy's actually cool. He's one of them few flyers with black. And he's got First Strike and Haste in black. That's actually pretty saucy. I didn't actually have to end up using this secondary deck, which, I was happy about. I mean, you get a whole bunch of good stuff. I mean, I had a couple of Acts of Treason that I could have played. I decided not to. Had a Shatter. I think I might have sideboarded. Didn't want... Second Swift Kick. I didn't want to run more than 1. Trumpet Blast was kind of tempting. I'll be perfectly honest, the Jeskai mechanic of Prowess I don't like, but I was hoping the sheer power of the color combination would carry the day for me. It was a hope. Secret of the Ways, a 2/2 with prowess, and when its prowess triggers, he also gets lifelink till end of turn, which is not bad. The Jeskai student's a 1/3 with prowess. Horde Chief, he's a 2/3 with raid. When he enters the battlefield, you attack with a creature this turn, you get a 1/1 white warrior creature token. It's not bad. You know, it's 2 dudes for the price of 1 if you attack this turn. Rush of Battle is interesting. It's a mass creature buff of +2/+1 at sorcery speed, plus warriors you control gain lifelink till end of turn. Defiant Strike is actually kind of really mad. The creature gets +1/+0 till end of turn and draw a card. Meh. Honestly, I looked at it too quick. For some strange reason, when I first looked at it, I thought it also granted haze, first strike. But it doesn't. Siegecraft I actually thought about. Enchanted creature gets +2/+4, but the forecasting cost was really off-putting. I had 2 Sage Eye Harriers. I am not thrilled by these. I mean, 5 mana for a 1/5 flyer with morph is just blech. I don't like it. Salt Road Patrol. The Outlast mechanic is actually pretty interesting. I rather like it. Erase. It's a nice little just-in-case kind of thing. I had a Tagum Scheming. I just didn't want to run it. Whirlwind Adepts. You know, 4/2 hexproof and prowess is not bad, but at 5 mana and without flying, I just didn't feel it was worth it. Water World, 6 mana for an instant that returns 2 target creatures to owner's hands is interesting. I kinda sorta like it, but at the same time it's so expensive and I couldn't justify it. Embodiment of Spring is interesting. It's an 0/3 for a single blue, and you can pay a colorless and a green, tap and sack it to search for a basic land and throw it onto the battlefield tapped. That's not bad. Glacial Stalker is just a 4/5 vanilla beat stick. It's alright, with morph, but what else? A 2/1 for 2. An elk in blue is kind of weird. Disdainful Stroke, I'll admit, was a little bit tempting, but I just didn't have room for it. Ended up with a Snowhorn Rider sitting around. I had nothing to do with it, but a 5/5 trample is not bad. The charms that I've seen so far all look really nice. Look at this. 3 more of these comes into play. Tap, gain a life. Quasi-duels. 2 Ponyback Brigades. When it enters the battlefield or is turned face up, put 3 1/1 red goblin creature tokens onto the battlefield. That's not bad. I mean, it's a little on the expensive side, but it's not bad. Utter End, 4 mana for an instant that exiles target non-land permanent is pretty saucy. Sultai Soothsayer. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. When he hits the board, 1 to your hand, rest to your graveyard. There's a nice graveyard theme going on with them, so that actually works for them nicely. A foil Abzan Ascendancy. Hits the board, +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you get a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Sultai Charm, look at that. Abzan Guide, Mardu Skull Hunter, Kneeling Chroma, blah blah blah. So you might ask, well, how did you do with that deck, dude? How did you do? Well, let me think. Out of 4 rounds for Midnight Pre-Release, I got a bunch of wins. I got a couple of losses. And in the end, I walked away with 15 booster packs for coming in first. Oh, come on, look at those. Ain't they sexy? Ain't they sexy? So, these are my booster packs. I'm going to do whatever I want with them. I'm going to crack them. Oh, yeah. See what I get. I'm going to just not even look at the commons, really. I'm just going to pull out the uncommons and rares. Kintree Evocation, a Ride Down, a Sultai Charm, and a Hardened Scales. Green enchantment. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be placed on a creature you control, that many +1/+1 counters are placed on it. One or more would be placed on a creature you control. That many +1/+1 counters. Alright, so an additional +1/+1 counter. There we go. Oh, look, morph token. A non-foil Sultai Ascendancy. Warden of the Eye. 3/3 for 2 and 1 of each. Djinn Wizard. Enters the battlefield, return target non-creature, non-land from graveyard to hand. Interesting. Opulent Palace. It's black, green, blue, tricolor. Master of the Way. 3 colors, blue, red, sorcery. Draw a card, deals damage to our creature or player equal to the number of cards in your hand. That's pretty saucy, actually. Pretty saucy. I'm honestly not expecting any of the search lands. I'm really not. Howl of the Horde, 2 and a red. When you cast the next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it. And if you attack with a creature this turn, when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell an additional time. So basically it's a copy a spell, or if you've already attacked, copy it twice. Heart Piercer Bow is kind of interesting. 2 colors, artifact equipment. Whenever equipped creature attacks, the bow deals 1 damage target. Creature defending player controls. That's interesting. That's interesting. I like it. It's not gonna be super, but it's nice. High Spire Mantis is really funky. It's a 3/3 flying trample for 4. That's actually pretty saucy. Chief of the Edge. Other warriors you control get +1/+0. It's not bad. It's not bad. Trying to get through this quick because I don't have a lot of space left on the memory card, like 8 minutes. What do we got here? Iron Tusk Fortress. 2 colors, white, black, green. Untap each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it during each other player's untap. Oh, yay. Mardu Rough Rider. 2 colors, red, white, black, 5/4, Orc Warrior. Whenever it attacks, target creature can't block. It's not bad. Briber's Purse. X. Hits the board with X gem counters on it. 1 tap, remove a gem counter. Target creature can't attack or block this turn. Interesting. Burn Away. 4 and a red. Deals 6 damage to target creature. When that creature dies, exile all cards from its controller's graveyard. It's nice. Not super, but certainly hoses those, what is it, Delve? I think is the name of the mechanic. I can never remember Delve or Dredge. You know, that they're so similar, both, you know, thematically and verbally. A foil Smoke Teller. That's spiffy. Oh shit, look at that. Polluted Delta. Yay, Polluted Delta. Abzan Falconer. Each creature you control, the +1/+1 counter has flying. That's a 3-drop for a 2/3. That's actually pretty saucy. A Pine Walker. 3 and double green for 5/5 with morph. When it goes face up, another creature you control's turn face up, untap that creature. Whenever, or another creature you control's turn face up, untap. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, hey, look. It's Arc Lightning. Yay, Arc Lightning. 2 and a red. 3 damage divided you choose amongst 1 to 3 creatures or players. It's nice. I like it. Reprint from Urza's block, if I recall correctly. Rattleclaw Mystic. Colorless and a green for a 2/1. That taps for green, blue, or red. Has morph. It's turned face up. Add green, blue, and red to your mana pool. It's pretty saucy. Another Heart Piercer Bow. Oh, hey, look, it's a suspension field. Those are nice. I like them. And another Chief of the Edge. Blood-Soaked Champion, 2-1 for 1, can't block. Raid, color a black, return him from your graveyard to the battlefield. Use this ability only if you attack with a creature this turn. That's actually pretty saucy, I like it. Another Sultai Soothsayer, another Ride Down, and oh hey, look, Mystic Monastery. Yeah, I've seen those before. But yeah, it was nice coming in first. I was really stoked about it. My last match was against a fellow who goes by the name Batman because he's always wearing a Batman hat, and pretty ballsy when your last boss is Batman. Oh hey, look, Wooded Foothills, another fetch land, and a Suspension Field. Oops, and a Sandstep Castle, the white-black-green tri-land. And a Hordling Outburst. Color some double red for a sorcery that gives you 3 1/1 goblin tokens. That's pretty saucy. But yeah, I ended up literally, game 1, I ended up literally going through my entire deck against him. Between like card draw and Narset exiling cards from my deck. Last turn, I had 5 cards in the deck at the beginning of the turn. And I drew 1, and then I turned Narset. Then when I attacked by Narset, my last 4 cards in deck were exiled. Oh hey, look, Sidisi Blood Tyrant, 3/3. He's for 4 mana. Hits the board or attacks. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Whenever 1 or more creature cards is put into your graveyard from your library, you get a 2/2 black zombie creature token. It's not bad at all. Windstorm, that's a reprint. It's nice to have though. X green, instant X damage to each creature with flying. Armament Core, 2 colors, white, black, green, 4/4. Enters the battlefield, distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among 1 or more creatures you control. It's nice. Another Mistfire Weaver. And you know what? I am not going to get the rest of this done in like 2 minutes. So I'm going to stop, open these up, and then splice them in, do a second section of video and splice it in. Hold on. Okay, so I got another Obs Ascendancy, Heir of the Wilds, Jeskai Charm, Goblin Slide, Jeskai Charm's really nice. Foil Burnaway, a Windswept Heath. 2 out of my prize packs go for a grand total of 3 of my freaking lovely little search lands. Raider Spoils is spiffy. Seeker of the Way. Swarm of Bloodflies. He's kind of an iffy card. Foil Mountain, another Hardened Scales. Horde Ambusher's nice. Cranial Archive. Mistfire Weaver. A foil Trumpet Blast. A little nobody called Solemn Visitor. And well, who cares about him? Dead Drop is really nice. Delve! There we go. That's what it is. Each card you exile from your graveyard while casting the spell pays for 1 colorless of it. It's 9 and a black. Target player sacrifices 2 creatures. If you've got enough cards in your graveyard, you can easily delve that really early. Death Frenzy is nice. All creatures get -2/2 till end of turn. Whenever a creature dies this turn, you gain a life. Nice. Another Winter Flame. Kero Lich Lord, who's 4/4 for 6. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 2 and a black. If you do, return a creature card at random from graveyard to battlefield. Gains Flying, Trample, and Haste. Exile at the beginning of your next end step. If it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Bear's Companion. It's kind of interesting. It's 5 mana for a 2/2 and a 4/4. Ruthless Ripper, 1/1 Death Touch Morph with a morph cost of revealing a black card. And when it goes face up, target player loses 2 life. That's nice. And a Scion of Glaciers, 2 in double blue for a 2/5. You pump blue, and he gets +1/-1 till end of turn. If he flew, he'd be freaking incredible. But he doesn't. I can't complain about my winnings here. I really can't. I did awesome. I did awesome. The sack lands that let you tutor the tutor lands. I'm trying to remember what the heck the terminology for. They've been around so long. I should know this off the top of my head, but for some reason I keep brain farting. Oh well. But anyways, yeah, these suckers. I mean, just one of them is like worth like $15, you know. So there's like what, 50. Granted, that was going to be one of the more expensive ones because it's blue and black. But like, there's like what, 15, 25, 35, like $40 right there, right there. That's pretty nice. Plus, I ended up with like, you know, some foil lens and blah blah blah. And you know, I'm not gonna complain. This is cool. Plus, I had a great freaking time. Great time. So I hope everyone else's pre-releases and such went well. And wrap this up. Be good. Stay safe. Kill no one I wouldn't. Happy gaming. And I'll see you whenever the hell the next time I see you is. Peace out, fellas. Be good.